Just for your information, the amount of time spent away from the solar wells is largely dominated by interstellar travel, so it's more a thing for ships, really. Duly noted. Duly noted. Yeah, so for stationary guard or patrol ships, it's more important than for transfer ships. So, for example, a passenger ship wouldn't get as much use because, ideally, they should be spending most of their time ferrying passengers to and fro, rather than the other way around. Actually, since you do mention that the time away from the sun is mostly in travel, so that's when it wouldn't be working. Do they have to be stationary for it to work? Like, if a ship is just standing idle, I don't think they have to be stationary. Oh, that's very useful information, because that's another misconception that I've heard a lot. And in fact, that's one I've repeated, so it's especially useful. There you go, chat. Disregard what I said earlier about energy collectors not being useful if a ship is constantly moving around. It's more that if they're moving between systems, that it wouldn't be as useful. So that's actually quite useful information. Thank you very much for that. So with things like passenger ships, that's probably a very good candidate for not having to worry about energy collectors. Like, if there's something else you really wanted to use that 5 extra space for, you could go for it. You know, if there's nothing else that'll fit into 5 space, then you may as well have an energy collector just in case, but... I don't think I'm going to be able to fit anything else in there, because there's nothing else I really want to take off. A research base can definitely be very far away, so I would like the proximity sensor. I could, instead of having this, go for a point defense, but no, I think this is okay. I could pull something else off though. Have I got? What are you? It's 20 for a basic recreation center. That would be nice because it would pull down the maintenance on it if I were to slip that in. Let's have a look. If I pop that in there. And then... You know what? Instead of the ion bombs, let's go for the particle beams. They're a bit smaller, so will give us a little bit more room. They're not as good as the ion bombs, especially given the range, but actually we'll have one ion bomb as well. And that gives us an extra 10 to play with if I really can. Actually, yeah, we can. I can pop in a med bay. Yeah, that actually works, because that'll also give us some damage mitigation on top. Yeah, damage reduction 9%. Not too bad. Alright, I think this is good enough. I mean, again, the idea of this... I'm almost tempted to take the Starfighter Bay off, honestly. But the idea behind this is not that it will take care of pirates until I'm much higher tech, and then it's not going to be like pirates attacking my mining bases and my research bases. There, sure, they could be taken out. But right now, the main thing is that this survives long enough for a fleet to get there and help them. There are some background updating bugs that happen. You can sometimes pause the game and let the UI catch up. For example, if you've been running 4X for a while, then pause, you can see inventory on stations go nuts. And fuel at the fuel depot or tank. Ah, okay. So we probably saw no solar power off between systems and assumed it was movement rather than distance to the nearest star that was the cause. Yeah, could have been. Could have been Demon Works. Okay. I think that's good enough. That is the state bases. And now... Ugh, state ships. That's going to take a while. Alright. Hopefully we can get through this super fast. Our destroyer. Let's get in there. Now, our destroyer shall be just DD. And then we'll have the different types, because you can make different versions of destroyers later on. And we'll name those based on that. But for now, this will just be DD. I think that's the abbreviation for destroyers. Let me have a quick look. Let's go down. Yeah, DD. Okay, let's have a look at you. You're all about fighters right now. And I am all about that. You've got some nice big weapons bays. Proximity sensor on this. I'm kind of feeling more taking the target tracking system. The destroyers are going to be the most... right now, these are effectively my core ship. But I'm going to switch that over to close escort. It's effectively the core, because it's the largest ship I can make. Invade when clear. 20% non-defense components. I want this to be cautious and to sit back and attack from afar. So, I don't want any kind of boarding on this. So, remain cautious and remain cautious, even against enemies that you are stronger than. It's point defense and ion weapons, basically. Big, chunky ion weapons. I've got a point defense blaster at the back. Got a couple of engines, but I think with the space that we've got left, how many engines can this have? I can have 4. So we definitely want a directional thruster to give us that little bit of extra countermeasures. Well, take care, road train. You have a good sleep, mate. Turn off auto refit. Oh, sorry. Errolfoss was saying problem. They refit the last design you saved. What was that in regards to? So if you make multiple designs, even of the destroyer subtypes, they replace themselves. Yeah, if you want to, as I was saying earlier, actually, you can have fleets that are made of like multiple different types of frigates, and that is wildly more efficient. Well, in terms of you'll get more bang out of that fleet. But like if you only have frigates, for example. However, it does add an extra layer of kind of juggling to be able to manage that manually. Now, in terms of our range, that's a fine range, honestly. We've got damage control. We've not got space for anything else. So I'm just going to have to accept the 21% maintenance savings. I don't think we're fitting anything else on this. I could take off maybe one of the point defense to add a weapon type. Have I got anything that would make sense to add? I couldn't fit the plasma torpedoes, sadly. The Maxos Blast... Well, I mean, the Maxos Blaster is 990. It would attack things that came close. But it would be great if I could have the plasma torpedo on there. I could drop the sensor to fit it. Yeah, honestly, if there was a way to comfortably manage multiple design types of a single role, so even without the different types, like, because later on you obviously research better frigate hulls and you can get that, like, fleet frigate and the heavy frigate and so on and so forth. But if there was a way of just having multiple designs of exactly the same type, that would be absolutely marvelous. If that was just a little bit easier to manage within the scope of the auto refit, because you can do it manually. It's just, it is a lot of juggling to achieve, and it's one of the strongest selling points of this game is how much you can automate it, because it does kind of feel like role playing, being the Emperor. You don't do everything yourself. But as far as I'm aware, when it comes to, like, manually retrofitting, if you click on the retrofit button for ships that have multiple different types of designs, it'll ask you which one to retrofit them into. At least when it comes to manually retrofitting. From automated ones, I think they just go for whichever one is the most recent, or simply don't ever do it. But I could drop this off and give it a little bit more. Automation is definitely a core tenet, and quality of life needs to be a priority. Right now, I think the current position was on making the game perfectly stable across common... Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Ultimately, being able to manage multiple different types of the same role is a luxury. It doesn't feel like one, but when you stack it up against, some people can't play the game in a stable capacity, like, you know, maybe it gets much more unwieldy and starts chugging later in a save, or if in some cases it doesn't launch properly, then that is obviously going to be the higher priority. Let's make sure that everyone can play the game before tweaking the formula to make it the perfect game. Union IT said, if you select a fleet and tell it to upgrade, it will pick what it thinks is the most recent model. Right, so then you'd end up with all of the frigates in the fleet being the same design. But since this is my... Again, functionally my core, I'm going to leave it with the sensor for now, because I think it's pretty much the only thing that has one of those sensors as a consequence, and I'll give it a blaster at the front. Blaster on the nose. Top speed can be slower, I'm fine with that. I mean, it would be lovely to have an extra engine, but I cannot fit that on. And there we go. Next up, the frigate. Find out what the abbreviation for a frigate is. FF, so that is what we've got here. We've got, yeah, the frigates can, for the Tekin, the frigates can have a fighter bay, which is wild. This one isn't using one, though. I'll drop the proximity sensor on these because they're generally going to be, well, that being said, the frigates are the core ships for my, like, defense fleets, but like my rapid response fleets, but I'll pop that off for now. I think that's fine. So, I would love to have a... Well, actually, yeah, we're just going to pop on Maxos Blasters here. I would like a better ion weapon because I do want it to capture, because this is my capturer. It's the one that gets in there close and tries to come out. As a result, I'm going to just say, get in there as close as you can and attack. Retreat... Again, if shields are below... Well, if 20% of any non-defense item is damaged. Oh, well, you started work on June 1st. Well, congratulations on the new posting, mate. Massive congrats on that new job. And before working on Distant Worlds 2, I wrote the mod loader for Distant Worlds. And some small mods. Well, that's awesome. It's always wonderful to see people getting hired from within the community. I remember feeling very, very strongly about that as well when Sorin got hired by Gas Powered Games after they did all the work on the mod to the AI for Supreme Commander. I always was really happy to see that someone got, you know, the talent that was already in the community got elevated into the jobs. Proton engine directional thrusters. Do I have space for anything else? No. I think that's just what we're going to have to go with. I won't worry about the sensor, since we've already got the destroyer with that. Unless I put the sensor on these. But I think I would rather have this be a bit of a brawler. I think that works more. Yeah, it makes the frustration of the job surmountable. Doing what you love. The chat knows my feelings on that. It's rewarding to do what you love, but there is a darker side to having a job that you love doing. And that is, you're much more willing to put up with the bullshit of doing a job you love doing, which is both good and bad. It can, especially in the games industry, it can lead to some willingness to crunch, which realistically you should probably be like, nah, I clocked off. Work problems stay in work. Work-life balance, important, yo. Mental health, very fragile. Right. I think it's good range. Nice chunky bit of ion there. Oh, where is the ion bomb? Yeah. Marvellous. My frigate will ion people that it's running away from. It truly is the best of times. Actually. No, it's a seeking thing. Never mind. We will ion the everyone. Glorious. Right, there we are. Chill, AAA. Now, my Escort Obzi. Let's get you set up as well. For a lot of these, it's simply upgrading the components that we've researched and giving them better weapons. I think Escort is KE. Let's go and have a look. I mean, if it's a destroyer, it's a DE. That makes sense. I mean, Escort as a role, like, it's an odd one now. Because it's... Escort... Role... Like, calling something a destroyer versus a frigate is not necessarily based on the tonnage of a ship in real life, but it quite often has a correlation to it. An escort is more, I feel, related to the equipment set of the ship. Like, you can have escort destroyers. That's more akin to what I would have used the word role for. Its role within the fleet is as an escort ship. Yeah, I'm not sure why we settled on KE, but that's what we've settled on. Yeah, I do feel that in the same way that the wording on like core, close escort, and picket has been refined to remove ambiguity, I would love to see the ambiguity with the term role in the game kind of smoothed out and say the class of a ship. So a destroyer, a frigate, a cruiser. Those are classes of ships rather than the roles of ships. One thing I will say is carrier is a little bit of an interesting one, because it's both a class and it's a role, really. Right, we've got the Maxos blaster at the front, the ion bomb at the back. Oh, the escorts have a proximity set. That actually kind of makes sense. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm actually on board with this one. Is this more or less everything we need? Yeah, it kind of is, actually. Yeah, alright. We'll go with that. Job's a good one. Right, the fuel tanker. Fuel tanker. It's fuel oil barge. Oh, you could go with that. Gasoline tanker, transport oiler. Look, Aavak doesn't know how to spell. Yeah, we could just go with tanker, honestly. TNK. Oh, what size was this? Oh, crap. I think... let's have a look. 445. So it'll be 450 at least. It's a small fuel tanker, so it'll be S. TNKS. It is full. Top to bottom. Chock-a-block. Doesn't need a sensor, again, because it's going between 2 points. It's not necessarily the destination itself. So, hopefully, it's going to something which will already have a sensor. And if it isn't, yeah, good luck. I think we will pop on an extra engine then in that case. How much room we got? We don't quite have enough of that. I'll pop this on instead. Dunk. That being said, I could give it point defense. Actually, yeah, I think point defense would be a better one. Except it on either side, and that's gonna scratch up my brain. So we'll do it that way. Yeah, fleet oilers is AO. That's what I was thinking. That's what I found. Yeah, escort class could be renamed to Corvette, which would fit. Stands for auxiliary oiler as opposed to auxiliary supply. Let's go with AO. There we go. Now, colony ship, we're just going to go with col because I don't think there isn't a common abbreviation for colony ships in real life. I think this is still a small though. Now, this one may well be going somewhere by itself, so I will give it a sensor. Let's go point defense, is the only thing I need it to have. And I will give it some extra engine power too, since I've got more than enough room to fit it in. There we go. LST? What does LST stand for? Just hail? I'd like to make a weekly, bi-weekly or monthly voice chat for an hour or two in the Distant Worlds 2 Discord. That would be amazing. Landing ship. Ah, okay. I wouldn't name a ship the Aavak. That's weird. Arlie Burke, turning over in the grave. How dare. Call S, we'll just go with that, I think. Tells me everything I need to know. Got a decent range on it too. Then exploration ship. Well, I'm just going to straight up call this a Psi ship. And I think it is a... actually, let me just double check that one, because I could be wrong on that one. Exploration... Where is it? Escort... Exploration ship. Yeah, it's a small exploration ship. I don't know if we get big ones, but we're going to call it the Psi S. Nerd S. No. Because this way we've got the science station and the science ship, and I like it. It all makes sense in my brain. Definitely need a well, actually, no. We're not going to have a proximity sensor. We're just going to have a resource scanner. This way, they can choose between the two, depending on what they're doing. Also going to have armor as well as the shield. Do I really want ion on this is the question. It's a big question. I would like it to have recreation. If it can, it cannot by 7. I'm sorry, directional thruster. You were the weakest link. Goodbye. This is going to... I like the idea that the science ship is going to be out on vast voyages. You know, impossible distance away from home. It might be out on deployment for many, many years. Not months, years. So it needs a basic holodeck. And if we don't have the tech for a basic holodeck, it needs a home cinema. Only it's not at home. Only it is the home for the people that are living on it for years. If nothing else. An oldie-worldy gramophone, rocking chair, and like a TV with like a hanger antenna that kind of occasionally picks up space ghosts. I'm sure the space ghosts will be nice, though. Nice space ghosts only, please. Totally not haunted, hashtag, yes, exactly. Though, if any ship in my fleet is going to be subject to weird-ass hauntings / nightmare fuel, it definitely needs to be the exploration ship. The first one that I ever built was with a hyperdrive was an exploration ship. I shouldn't have missed the opportunity to name it the Event Horizon. I am a fool and I apologize. Totally should have named the first ship that can move faster than the speed of light in our navy the Event Horizon. 100% should have happened. And then the final ship then is the construction ship. Now, what the heck are we going to call construction ship? Chat, I need you to wiki what would fit that better, because I haven't got a clue. This can totally be somewhere by itself, so a proximity sensor makes them a lot of sense. It has got no weapons, though, which is a big bad sad. Do I need a bigger cargo bay? I actually wonder about that one. Do I need a bigger cargo bay? Would one cargo bay be enough to carry everything I need? Con build? BLD, yeah, that's good. That's a good one. So we'll go with con. As much as build is perfect. Engineering, industry. I agree with Bob. No, we're not going to call the spaceship Bob. Who died and made you captain of Bob? AR is repair ship, apparently. Oh, really? Or AB for crane ship. Well, it'd probably be AB, I imagine. Because These definitely look like they could have cranes, space cranes. Yep. We'll go with AB. The AB meat mopper. Yeah, perfect. No, actually, we're getting to the point now where we're really struggling, so I will just go with con. Right. In terms of items on the ship, I think this is pretty much as good as we're going to get it. If I want a proximity, it's because the construction yard is bloody enormous. A is for auxiliary. That does actually make a lot of sense, though. Yeah. I mean, having A for like a state ship, which isn't really a combat ship. We'll go with that, I think. And with that, there we go. Now, $1 million are going to find their way into our account as the entire private sector like cripples itself trying to upgrade its ships. We need to go and deal with this Gravel X, apparently. Also, who are the Wakarus? They're large crustaceans with distinctive facial mandibles. Oh, my lord. Phoenix Point lost. Earth was claimed by the Pandora virus. The dead god rose, and crab people claimed the Earth. Well, Wakarus live in the seas of the ocean planets. They can also live out of water for extended periods, but prefer the damp environments. They construct entire underwater cities in the vast caverns and tunnels of the ocean worlds. What's that one doing? Oh no, I lost it. Okay. Well, we're going to go to the Galactopedia for that one. I'm sure it's going to have races in here. Alien races, where are you? There we go. These cities are centers of technology and industry, manufacturing advanced underwater technology that is used throughout the galaxy. The deep undersea tunnels of the Wakarus inhabit are also the home to an abundance of other marine life, some of it hostile. Wakarus fear one predator in particular, the Leviathan Dakul, a formidable deep-sea monster that grows to lengths of 100 meters or more. Wakarus have adapted to these threats by developing powerful force fields that guard the entrances to their underwater colonies. The Wakarus also have deep knowledge of highly specialized wave beam weapons. This has led to them to develop the potent pulse wave weapon. This unique type of beam weapon fires powerful waves of energy at targets. Okay. Very nice to know. There we go, chat. We've met them. They are met. Totally Zoidberg. Actually did look like Zoidberg, to be fair. You're not even far off. Right, all of our spaceports have got an awful lot of things wanting to be built or rebuilt. It's going to be a while, chat. Let's speed things up to full speed. Ooh, new ambassador. Nice. And a couple of places that we need to explore a bit more. Let's have a look at who our new ambassador is, though. Oh. Hang on a sec. That's an important one. Hecretos fever strikes. A deadly outbreak of Hecretos fever has struck our colony. No, malevolent discontent. Well, I mean, if it was going to strike anywhere, a colony named Malevolent Discontent was kind of the obvious choice. Hecretos fever is a deadly infection that attacks the internal organs, causing rapid degeneration and death. An outbreak of Hecretos fever typically lasts about 3 months. Let us hope that this plague does not spread to other colonies. Let us hope that, yes. Free trade agreement, migration treaty, and territory map sharing. I agree. What? We're meeting all of the people all of a sudden. We encountered a new independent colony of Icaros. The Icaros are naturally neutral towards us. We can attempt to colonize them. The initial communications with them have been extremely successful, and they view us with some friendliness. That's nice. Who are they, though? They're large, muscular primates with short brown-red fur. They have very large, widely shaped ears that enable them to precisely determine the location of sounds. This ability gives them rudimentary sonar skills, allowing them to see in the dark. Ikuro tend to be intelligent and aggressive, though cautious. Ikuro are often short-tempered. When provoked or threatened, they can quickly become violent. Despite that, they are generally gentle and affectionate to those they know well. They're extremely capable mechanics. They can repair nearly any type of machinery. They also confidently reverse engineer new devices they encounter. In fact, they often end up improving the machines when they reassemble it. This natural mechanical predisposition has also led the Ikuro to develop the S2F7 repair bot, an advanced repair bot that can swiftly fix damage to starships, even while they are in battle. Ikuro have a great fascination with trees and plants, and have extensive knowledge of the various types of flora throughout the galaxy. They use this expert understanding to create an array of highly effective herbal medications. They typically live in tree dwellings high in the forest canopies of forests, continental or grassland planets. Well, there we go. We now know. You want me to send the defense force to attack? Please tell me that the defense force is a defense fleet. Are you a defense fleet? Defend. 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 Yes, you are. Very well, you may go and destroy the Gravlax. They reminded me amazingly of the Jokero from Warhammer 40k. I couldn't remember what their name was, though. So I was like, am I going to bring it up or just continue plumbing the depths of my memory? Bloody Shen murdering the Jokero that Splat and me found when we were streaming Dark Heresy. Shenanigans. Okay, well, we've got a lot of things going on right now. There's going to be an awful lot of stuff being rebuilt and built and rebuilt. But I'm okay with that. Let's have a look at our economy right now. We're actually doing okay. Troop maintenance is a little bit sprawling, but that's alright. I think for the most part, we're alright. We are dumping a decent amount of money into our research. We just need to curb that a little bit. We're keeping a decent amount available to us as well. Facility maintenance. No, I'm going to keep troop maintenance up over facility maintenance. I think that's fine. Colony approval overall is 9. Let's have a look at our colonies quickly. You're lower, but that's fine. We're starting to grow reasonably fast. How close are you to your max pop? You're already over the max pop. Well, so about that, I need... Oh, good. We are resettling them. I mean, there's no one else here because I don't think anyone else can fit. But maybe I shouldn't accept anyone else. I don't know. Maybe I will accept others because some of them have some good benefits. But let's resettle the Teekans at least because that is way too many. That one... we've got loads of room here. There is no reason for us to worry about that for a long time. You're fine, you're fine. Actually... you know, that's a very small planet. I disapprove. But I think we got them fairly early on for free. Well, not really free, but this one we got for free. No, Avakeen, sorry, we got for free. It's a decent world, realistically speaking. Alright. They're resettling, so we are slowly moving things around. Yeah, I watched a lot of you in Splat, but I didn't catch all the monkey slaughter. It was much sadness. Much sadness. Splat and I definitely wanted that Jokero to make some amazing new tech. Unfortunately, someone had to go and follow our bloody orders and murder the Xenos. Anyway, I'm going to let you watch very slowly the Empire unfold whilst we go on a tea break, because it's like coming up to 4 hours. Should have been on a tea break ages ago, but I really did want to get all of the ships rebuilt before we did. Hopefully we're going to get a couple more fleets up and running fairly soon and start sending those fleets out to start ideally capturing high-tech pirate fleets, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm going to be back in about 5 odd minutes. I recommend you get up, stretch your legs, grab a drink, etc., and then we will continue on at a much higher speed and actually make some progress in this stream. 4 hours of just catching up and readjusting everything. My lord. Feels like the tyranny streams all over again. Redesigning my spells every single time we start a stream.